Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the Outsider's Perspective, and I am the maestro, creator of all things HLX, and with me, as usual, the legendary Courier on the ones and twos. How you feeling, sir?
I'm tired today.
I am as well.
Yeah.
It was rainy. It was crazy outside all day, so energy is low. But we are here. Consistency is key.
That's right.
So we are here for the people.
You're welcome.
Yes, you are welcome. So it was another eventful week of music. Many albums and mixtapes, EPs, whatever they want to call them, came out. So we will start with the one that I was actually most interested to hear, which was Solange. I wanted to see what that was going to be because that was just out of nowhere. She had these promotional videos. She did like a promo run on like Black Planet or something like that at one point. She had promo videos there for the release. She had this like 30-minute, I guess, mini film exclusive to Apple Music. So I still haven't seen that because I don't have Apple Music. But the album, we listened to it in full, top to bottom, 19 tracks.
Yes, we listened to it together.
40 minutes long.
Yes.
How do we feel about When I Get Home?
Okay, yes.
From Solange.
We do not like it.
We do not. I will co-sign there. We do not like it.
First time I heard a few songs from it, I was by myself.
Okay.
But I couldn't get past like 4 or 5 of them. I was like, I can't do this. I think one of them was called Dreams or something like that. And Dreams was one of the ones I was like, you know what? This one isn't as bad as the other ones that came before. So I was like, let me listen to the next one. And then I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And then I listened to it a second time with you. So I was like, I was eating breakfast. So I was just kind of chilling. So you played it. And I don't like it. I don't think it is good.
It was a lot happening and then also not a lot happening at the same time. It felt like a bunch of interludes. Or it was just unfinished, or like she had ideas that were like started, but instead of seeing the idea through to the end, she was like, "Nah, just loop that." A couple times and we out to the next track.
The thing is, there was so many people involved in this.
There was like several high name people too. Like what? I don't understand why.
And it's like, I remember I told you, I was like, if I had made this album, people should know me.
Like Corey.
But
get the fuck out of here.
She got a deal in Colombia pushing it and everything. So it's like,
she got Beyonce to post this on her Instagram.
Wow.
And I'm sure that was surely off the strength of you being her sister.
Yes.
Beyonce did not hear this and go, I think this you got one, sis.
Yeah,
nah. She was like, you're my sister. You got to post it. Like, nah, I don't think that happened.
Yeah, I guess she can keep it. But Seat at the Table still gets played on
Yes, Seat at the Table is completely separate from this conversation.
Yes.
But I seen mixed reviews. Some people were like, this is the greatest thing. Oh my God.
Dick Riders.
This is so amazing.
On her sack, yeah.
Then you have some people who were like, maybe I need to give another listen, or maybe
trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe I gotta.
That wasn't me. That's just what I want you to know that.
Or maybe I gotta be high next time I listen to it, so maybe that'll be the vibe in the room. So I done heard a lot of things like that. Then I heard some people just say, "No, I was trash."
That was me.
And I was just like,
hi.
And then we went to, what was the tweet I pulled up that I thought was interesting? And he was like, the person was like, "I'm not really feeling it. Maybe it's me, I need to listen to it again." And the person responded and was like, "I'm glad you realized that it's your fault that you don't like it and not the artist." So I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
So it's my fault if her album isn't good now? Like, how does that work out? But
I don't know.
That's the consensus. It's a no for me. So then the next one, 2 Chainz, rapper Go to the League, A&R'd by the legendary LeBron James. How do you feel about rapper Go to the League? 2 Chainz, 5th studio album.
I did not dislike it.
Okay.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, but the songs I did hear, I didn't hate.
I listened to the whole thing. It was good. However, I feel like they overhyped it so I expected way more.
Yeah, because people was talking like, oh yeah, this
the
is
hype
fire.
behind them was like, yo, this is gonna change 2 Chainz's life
Yeah.
forever, and this is gonna send him like to the next level. And like I was like, okay, so this joint about to be crazy. And I played it and I was like, all right. not bad, not good. It's all right. So yeah, it was a lot of hype behind it. You had a lot of big name people like, yo, this is the one. Like Charlamagne heard it, and they interviewed him on the Breakfast Club. He was like, yo, I think this is your best body of work, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is gonna do it. Did all that. He did a pull up with Joe Budden, same thing. Like, yo, y'all got something different on y'all hands. This the one. LeBron, of course, the A&R, like every video he posts, he in the car, like, this is don't kill him, right? They don't kill him with this one. So I'm like, yo, this is gonna be amazing. And I heard it and I was like, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
I put it like this. I don't remember any of the songs that I heard, but I did not hate any of the songs I heard.
Yeah, they were cool. There are, I think, like the later half, it's like 1 or 2 at the end that like really stand out. But
that's at the end?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even get that far.
Yeah, I did hear the whole thing.
That's what you get for putting all the best stuff at the end.
Like one in the possible at the end that I was like, oh, all right. So yeah, but yeah, you got to get through the rest of that first.
That's unfortunate. 'Cause oh well.
Yeah, but then last but not least, which we talked about we talked it up last week. We talked about T-Pain and his singles, and is it album time? Should he wait? Should he just come with more singles? And we predicted the future shortly after T-Pain dropped his album, One Up. And how do we feel about One Up?
I don't like it, but I like it better than Solange's album.
Well, that's the bar there is not. It's not the greatest of bars to set.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. It's generic. I could get that anywhere else. The only difference is that it's actually T-Pain though. So like with T-Pain's vocal approach to things, I've always like appreciated. In the singles that I heard, I enjoy. But once again, I couldn't get through the whole thing. There
was nothing else that you deemed like as good or greater than or equal to the singles that you heard?
No.
Or the singles those 2 were just the only ones that you...
I'm at a point now where it's like, if you don't grab me within the first 20 to 30 seconds, I'm moving on.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I was. And if you don't grab me by like the 4th track, I'm mentally gone.
How many tracks was on T-Pain album? I can't
remember either. But I mean, it wasn't as long as most projects are these days. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly critical or bored or jaded or whatever. But
jaded.
Yeah, but
it's 12 tracks, so yeah.
It wasn't super long. But once again, I did not like what I heard. But if you put Solange next to One Up, I'm bumping One Up.
One Up all day.
All day. That's my shit compared to Solange.
So so with that, of the 3, rank them.
2 Chainz.
Okay, so 2 Chainz is above T-Pain.
Number 1. Yes.
Okay.
T-Pain would be 2, yeah. And Solange would be like 50. Like 53. Like somewhere down there.
53.
Yeah.
Of the 3 albums released, Solange is 53.
That's how I feel. And on that note, we will return.
We'll take a break. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the Outsider Perspective with the Maestro and Corey L.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I want you all to know I'm going to play Riding Through My City every show. I just want you to know that. I love that fucking song. That is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Shout out to Vice Versa.
Yes, I love that song. Beautiful. I'm sorry. I had to say
no, that. Please. There's always welcome here.
Yes. I'm the DJ here.
You got, the 1s and 2s are yours, sir.
Damn right.
So no one can question your rotation.
Yes.
All right, so now we got to get into what may be a touchy subject.
You ain't touching me. Go ahead.
So we were discussing, actually for the past couple days, because as we know, the Sundance Festival, they had the documentary about Michael Jackson. And 2 of his past accusers, called, what is it, Leaving Neverland, or is it Surviving, Leaving, one of the 2. So it came out, And then it's going to appear actually today, right?
3rd and 4th. So today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow on HBO about two people that accused him who previously said nothing happened under oath multiple times. And now they're coming back saying something happened. So it's a little questionable. People feeling different ways. I checked Black Twitter before we arrived.
Reputable.
Most people was like, fuck out of here. But it's like a 90% fuck out of here rate on the documentary. A lot of people are saying like, this is not fact based. It's a bunch of opinions. Like, whereas the evidence, like this is way different from the R. Kelly where we got tapes and corroboration and other people outside of the accuser saying, oh, I saw it. He had stuff going on. There's none of that here. It's just two guys who we know previously lied saying something different now.
Well, we know one lied.
Well, yeah. One
I don't know about the other guy.
Well, they both have to be lying because they both testified.
Well, they're lying now.
So at one point, somebody lied somewhere. They both at one point lied. So that was cool. We was watching it. We was going to let it be what it was. However, we saw post and after Oprah attached herself to this documentary. And she hosted an interview with them. And after the documentary airs, she's doing like a post wrap up interview with them about the situation. In doing this, she said she was denouncing Michael Jackson in support of these two accusers based off the information at hand. So then we were left with a decision. Do we say fuck Oprah or fuck Michael Jackson?
There's no in between.
They cannot coexist.
Because there's sides.
Because she chose a side.
Right.
So if we believe in Michael, we in turn have to say
fuck Oprah.
Fuck Oprah. And if you stand with the accusers and all that, then you have to say fuck Michael.
Yes. So I'll say this. Well, first of all, fuck Oprah. This is fuck Oprah. Okay, that's how it's recorded. Okay, but I will say, I at first said I wasn't gonna watch that foolishness. That was my word. That was my exact word. I'm not gonna watch that foolishness.
Correct. Right? You were not alone in that thought.
I did see one interview with CBS with Gayle King.
Yes.
And she talked to both of them, Wade, and I can't remember who the guy name was, James or something like that. And the stories that they told were pretty disturbing,
compelling.
I had kind of a hard time kind of sitting through the stuff that they were saying.
Yeah, I watched it too. It was disturbing.
So of course it's in my mind. It's like, well, why would somebody just make that up? Like, they have children, they have families. Why would they make that up? And then when you said Oprah denounced them, I was like, well, look, I love Oprah, right?
As most of us do. Yeah.
I can't ignore the fact that Oprah thinks that this interview is so compelling and has so many arguments in it that are just like, she's sold. She's convinced.
Yes, she has chosen a side.
But first of all, the Wade Robson dude,
yes,
he lies constantly. I'm not gonna go into all the things that he's lied.
We saw several sources of him just wilding, and lying and making.
There's a lot of personal things going on with him, business, like professional and personal stuff going on with him. Right. So I'm not gonna go in on him because he got a lot of shit going on. But what made me think, and you helped me come to this conclusion, there's no real way of knowing.
Nope.
Mainly because Michael isn't here, right?
Correct.
You under the threat of like
perjury,
like you if you lie, you go to jail. Wait, James went once. No, James just always denied it. Wade went twice. Twice.
Once as a child and once as an adult.
Right. And said Michael never did anything inappropriate with me at all.
Correct.
So you said this like 15 years ago.
Correct.
Right. So here we are now, all of a sudden.
2019.
So you lying. Either way, whether you lied before.
There is a lie here somewhere.
Or you lied this time. You're lying. So there's no real way of me knowing what's the truth.
Exactly.
I can only go by apparently there was this FBI investigation going on for 10 years.
There was a 300 this is from Michael's nephew. I heard a conversation where he had He said there was a 300-page FBI investigation done over the course of 10 years, and they found zero to prosecute him. And you know damn well if the FBI found anything like that on Michael Jackson, they would have locked his ass up. Exactly. They wouldn't have spent 10 years looking at 300 pages worth of evidence to find something, and Michael was still walking around free.
So I want you all to know, yes, aside from my father, Michael Jackson is he's the most influential to me, as he is for a lot of us, obviously.
That's for most people, yeah.
But if I felt like the nigga did it, it's fuck him forever.
Absolutely.
Forever. But it's fuck Oprah, because how can you decide, like, based off of everything that's happened over the past 25 years, how can you conclude, okay, yeah, he did it after all the lies, after all the investigations, all this shit that I don't see how you can just come to that conclusion and quickly denounce him,
like, just
while he's not here. Like, you know, Mike, Oprah, you met him.
You interviewed him. He personally moonwalked for you.
He moonwalked for you.
Neverland.
He said he didn't want to, Oprah.
And he was like,
he said he was shy.
I don't want to do this.
Yes, but he did it for you, Oprah. You know why? Because Michael loved you, Oprah. And you go and do some bullshit like this.
It's a damn
Somebody
shame.
go tell Oprah Corey L said, fuck you.
It's a damn shame.
And it's sad. We out here canceling everybody. Mute Oprah. Mute Oprah. Bye.
It was just so much, and I know we won't get too much into the Wade guy, but it was just that's my whole point. We base our whole justice system and all that off reasonable doubt. Like, if everything adds up and looks like, okay, this is a reasonable conclusion to get here, then I can understand justifyingly arrest this person or charge them or whatever. There is so much doubt here,
yes, that
it's almost like, huh?
Yes.
That's just almost like a 50-50 shot at this point, coin toss. Because then the thing that got me was a couple points from the Wade. We saw basically like history of this Wade guy just wilding and making up stuff. Because he was saying, he was writing blog posts and like notes to himself about things that would happen and he would use later on, which is what? And then the part where he said he was so traumatized that he couldn't dance, sing, or direct or move or anything like that because it was attached to his trauma
as he was dancing
to Michael. But as he said that, he was dancing and directing and trying to dance and direct more, using Michael's name to do it. I can't put those two together in a safe space in my mind.
Fuck out of here, Wade. Fuck out of here.
I just can't do
it. Like I said earlier, I'm not gonna go in on him because it seems like some type of mental stuff going on.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't want to speak too much, but fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So we can move on from that.
Yeah, I just can't get with it. So
fuck
the verdict is
yes,
and you have to decide.
You have to, because they
cannot coexist. Yes. You either believe Michael, so it's fuck Oprah, or it's fuck Oprah because you with Michael. Those are the only options. Pick one. Now live with that.
Damn right. Yes.
So do we want to take a break, or we want to get into this Venezuela situation?
We'll take a break. Actually,
We'll take a break. Y'all marinate on that.
Oh man. Heavy shit.
We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Once again, this is the Maestro, creator of all things HLX, and with me, of course, the legendary Coriel on the ones and twos. All right, so this last subject is a little political. You know,
a little.
We like to go back and forth between Democrat and Republican up here.
I'm a Republican.
That's what he wants you to think. But we were watching, we were going back and forth between CNN and Fox News because we like to see what both sides are saying for the most part. And we were watching Fox and we were just like, this doesn't sound right. And they were talking about Venezuela because Venezuela is basically like rioting and burning shit down right now. And the Republicans, their reasoning behind this it's socialism's fault. Like, because of socialism, Venezuela is burning shit down. And we were like, that doesn't seem quite right.
Mainly because we didn't know what the Venezuela situation was.
Right. So we were like, let's research Venezuela, the government, what happened, how they got to this point, to see if socialism really was the cause of what was going on.
Right.
So we found maybe 2 10-minute videos on YouTube that gave us a brief history on Venezuela, and concluded that was not the case.
Right.
Venezuelan does have a lot of social programs that people would consider socialism, but their economy was based solely on oil. And they were producing a lot of it. So, of course, during times where oil prices were high, they were making a lot of money. And they took part of that money they were making and used it for social programs.
No, they took all of that money they were making.
To put towards social programs to make sure everyone was fed, clothed, all that good stuff. And while they had all the money, it was great. But then, I can't remember what year it was, the price of oil dramatically dropped. So, of course, all the money they were making from oil, they weren't getting no more. And the leader at the time...
Maduro? No, Chavez.
Yes.
Chavez.
Yes.
Yes.
Chavez was the first one.
He was the first
initiated
one, yes.
But then once it switched over, I thought it was somebody else. Maduro was there during that time. And during that time, Maduro really did nothing to adjust the economy. Like, he was still basing the economy on oil.
But so did Chavez.
But Chavez did it while it was working.
But he didn't look at other avenues.
That's true.
He just looked at oil.
That's true. So when it switched and oil stopped making money, they were kind of assed out. And they had no other real source of income for the country. So all this money that they had abundance of, that they could fund all these programs, they lost all of. And then, of course, corruption took over, and the government and high people were using one exchange rate for the money while other people had a different rate. So it just collapsed all over itself. But with that, to me, that doesn't say socialism was the problem. That was your economy as a whole. You didn't diversify. You had all your eggs in one basket of oil, and when that basket flipped over, you was ass out because you didn't have nothing else left. Right. That's not socialism's fault. That's poor leadership, poor planning, poor economic strategy.
Right.
So how did Fox get from that to socialism was the death of Venezuela and we should not do that here in America?
It's just the era of spin, and we spin things to politicize them. I don't think people really, well, I mean, we all know this. They really don't care about finding solutions. They just want power. That's what this is all about. So the fact that they spun it like because of socialism, Venezuela is in the situation that they're in, right, is a prime example of spin instead of just being honest about what the actual issue is. I think Republicans, I mean Democrats too, but Republicans are really starting to focus on the 2020 election. Yeah. And the biggest word, the buzzword right now is socialism. Because they feel like a lot of these Democratic candidates are pushing for universal health care and free, public college tuition and all that kind of thing. Basically things so that the government sees those kinds of things as just like human rights. Yeah.
Like everyone has the right to go to school.
To have health care.
And all that kind of stuff.
Republicans see that as just dangerous because socialistic countries do that. Now, mind you, there are places in like Europe that already do this. Canada does most of this stuff.
There's a lot of countries that does that already. And they're fine.
and they're fine.
No one's riding in the streets.
We have a kind of mixed economy where we are too, because we have Medicare and Medicaid and all those kinds of things. Those are technically socialism.
Social program, public programs.
Those are social programs. So it's just like I don't get why people just can't focus on creating solutions. Why does it have to be a us versus them thing all the time?
And it's weird the stuff that they choose to lean on and yell as with the spin as far as what their truth is. Because like with the new Green Deal thing, every time I heard them explain it, if you didn't know better, it would sound like the most crazy, extreme, left field thing. Like who would submit this? Like she wants to get rid of all cars. like
in
airplanes and cows.
They kept talking about cheeseburgers.
They're gonna take your hamburgers away.
Yeah.
Like, at first it was they're gonna take your guns. Now they're gonna take your hamburgers. Like,
yeah, it's dumb.
Excuse me. Like, none of this is true information at all. It's not even close to true information.
Right.
That new Green Deal mostly just is literally mostly funds research. It doesn't outlaw or get rid of anything. It just says, let's put money into develop technologies where we can further batteries and electric and renewable energy so that in maybe 10 years and further, we can start to switch to these things instead of using oil, because as we keep seeming to forget, oil is going to run out. It is a finite resource that eventually you're not going to have no choice but to switch because it's going to be gone. Right. So she's saying, instead of waiting until it's gone and panicking, let's start now. They took that and said she wants to take all your cows and hamburgers away. And it's like,
and it's just so frustrating.
I don't understand.
It's just like, now mind you, I'm not making it seem like, you know, everyone's perfect and every Democrat is just, you know, they have all the greatest ideas.
No,
I mean, but if there are situations where you're actually trying to not only help people now, but you're actually looking forward. You're thinking about how these things affect the future and all that. Like, I know that people work. I understand that people work at these, you know, oil companies or whatever, or
coal miners and
all that kind of stuff. I get it. So if we are trying to replace your job, you're essentially going to lose your job, sir. But there are a lot of other jobs that we were doing just like 50 years ago that we don't need anymore. So it's just like, I think it's just it's a natural progression type of a thing.
It happens
and learning
with
how to
everything.
adapt.
As technology advances, it's very possible your job may not be needed.
Keith said this yesterday, and it's true. Like, we have cars and like vehicles now.
Yeah.
But we didn't always have cars and vehicles. We had horses, right? So it's like, I'm pretty sure there were niggas like, I'm good with my horse. I don't trust that machine.
Yeah,
you know,
it was a metal death trap. I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with my horse.
So, all right.
Okay, cool. And then eventually the road was full with cars, and there was 2-3 niggas still on horses looking stupid.
So even though people, I'm pretty sure, still sell horseshoes somewhere, but I'm pretty sure business ain't booming like it was in 1859. Like, it's
we got cars.
We
now.
Go to Michelin now.
So my nigga, that's for the nigga that lost his job selling horseshoes. You might want to learn how to sell tires. That's the equivalent. You can transition into a similar field. You're still in transportation.
Or if
you get around.
Bernie was here, just go to school because it's free.
Get
an education, learn how to do it.
That's the solutions are everywhere.
Solutions are everywhere. But y'all want to politicize everything.
And even for the coal miners and the oil diggers, whatever it is, she's also pushing renewable energy. All that renewable energy, solar panels and wind turbines have to be installed, have to be maintained. We need electricians everywhere. You're going to need electricians out the ass very soon. In fact, Tesla, who does a lot of solar installations and stuff like that, said one of the reasons their deployment of it is so slow is because there aren't enough electricians to install the amount of demand they have. So they're literally waiting for the same electrician to finish this job. They can't schedule this job because he has to finish this first before he can go over here. They asking for him. But you in the coal mine want to stay there. Get your ass out the coal mine. Go learn how to... Right. With the canary down there.
That was disrespectful. I would like to apologize. Please continue.
Get your ass out the coal mine with your black lung and go learn how to be an electrician. There are jobs out there. In creating new industry, you create new jobs because someone has to work and maintain that new industry. You might have been a mechanic working on the old cars. Now you need to learn how to fix an electric car. It's less different stuff, different motors, different stuff going on. You don't need the engine and gas and all that and oil. It's just different stuff. There are jobs out here. So what's the issue?
Maybe we just simple, but it seems like common sense to me.
Very common sense.
You know, but I feel like it's just about power. I feel like this what it boils down to.
But if you, as far as power and having money and influence, if you're a gas and oil company, your power gone in the next 100 years.
They don't care. Does not exist. They don't care, obviously, because they feel like, well, I have to make my money now. This is how I made my living. This is how my father and his grandfather did it. So I need to keep the tradition going. All right, but you might have grandchildren and great grandchildren, and I guess you don't give a fuck about them. Or I guess you assume you'll make enough to the point that you'll be able to take care of them for generations and generations, which happens. So cool.
Yeah, it does happen.
But these are not renewable resources. Like
No.
once you use them up, they're gone. That's part of the reason why Venezuela's in this situation, because most of their
economy was based off of a resource that they started to run out of,
and there was less demand for.
And there was less demand for
because they're not the only. They might be the biggest producer, but they're not the only
one. So I can get it from somewhere else.
Yeah. So sorry to make it so boring and political for you all, but we had to kind of get that out of here because stuff is just dumb. They're just looking at CNN and Fox and just seeing how people just spend things. It's just us against them type of thing instead of just trying to create solutions for people.
Yeah, and then what was it? It was another thing, not to be even more dark and political, talk about abortions.
Oh God! Wait a minute here. How did we get to abortion?
Did you see that? We was watching was it CNN, and the dude was like, it was the Chris Cuomo show, and the guy was like, why would the Democrats submit a bill that allows you to like abort a baby after it's been born or something like that?
Well, you can't.
And that's what Chris Cuomo was like. That's not true. Like, you can't do that.
I didn't look this up, so I mean, I'm not gonna speak too much on it. But first time I heard about it was like you could wait until right up until your child is born to decide to abort it. Now, that immediately just sounds like bullshit. But I think it has something to do with I think it's one of those like rare instances where if it's like detrimental to like the
like if somebody killed a mom or something like that.
Yeah, I think it might have something to do with that. I'm not entirely sure. But abortion isn't when you have your child and then you kill the child. That's the point. That's what murder. That's what we call murder.
Like you said, the spin that the Republicans were putting on it was that bill, which you said, meant that the baby could be born and then the newborn baby could be killed by the doctor.
Yeah, that doesn't.
And Chris Cuomo said he even had people walk up to him in the street and go like, "Why would the Democrats do that? Why would they let you kill a baby? Right. That's after it's been born." And he was like, "No one said that. Like, lies. Where is this coming from?" Lies. And then the dude said it. The Republican dude that was defending it was like, "Well, why would they submit it?" And he was like, "But that's not true."
It's dumb.
And then the dude never really said like, "Yeah, you're right," but he was just like, "Well, I mean, they should try to submit something else then." Like, so you just admitted that that's not.
Apparently there were so many other things in that bill,
right?
But they honed in on that one. It was like, well, we have to throw the whole thing out. I was like, well, no, we can amend. We can talk about this.
That's what the Democrat lady was like. Well, that's what a bill is. It starts usually. Most bills usually start extreme and one sided, and then both sides come in, negotiate, take this out, let's adjust this, and then we agree on the final thing.
But that's not happening. It's like we don't like that, so
Republicans
throw the whole thing away.
Fuck out of here. I don't want none of it.
That's not progress.
Like,
you're not doing your job.
What is this?
Yes. So these are dumb times. I'm not sure if it's always been like this, but
I don't think not to this extent.
This is bad.
Especially because with social media,
and
stuff like that, and like now that all the young Congress people on Twitter and all the old people think that they understand it now, so they jump on and dudes be like threatening each other like gang members. Yeah, like before Conan was testifying, an older congressman was like, "I wonder if your wife knows about your girlfriend." Like. It's a good. You might want to have that talk when you get home.
Like, we get here like this.
What? This is a congressman. This is not one of the young people that they blame all the stuff on. This is the old white man who said, "I wonder if your wife know about that girl you've been talking to."
These are strange.
Might be a time to have that talk when you get home.
These are people leading our country.
What type? What type of shit is that?
I don't get it. But is there anything else? I feel like we need to end it on a lighter note than this.
That's all we had.
Off of abortion. Man. Goodness gracious.
Other than the video.
Okay, let's talk about Cardi's video. Okay, sure.
Was it Cardi and Bruno came out with their second big collaboration together for "Please Me," and they released a video, and we just watched it a few minutes ago. How do you feel about it?
That's good for them. All right, we would like to thank you all for tuning in.
What a beautiful way to end it out.
Yes. So y'all have a good rest of the night. I'm going to bed.
We will see y'all next time. Thank y'all for checking out.
On the track right now. He sings quite beautifully.